I can't tell you how excited I am for this video. I finally built out my new YouTube studio setup on one stand on wheels. And I have to say, this has become my new favorite thing in my studio. My name's Felicia Bass. I'm a freelance photographer here in Jacksonville, Florida. And on this channel, I like to talk about everything photography, tech, and gear. I'm so excited about this build. I've been wanting this for a long time, since the one stand or all-in-one YouTube studio on one stand became a trend. This all started with Caleb at DSLR Shooter, and he had his first setup about 5 years ago. Shout out to Omar Takori, previously with Think Media, for this particular setup. So let me run down the gear that I'm using. First, I'm starting with the Neewer Pro stainless steel C-stand on wheels. Then I have the Amaran 60D with the cob lighting attached to the Lantern Softbox. The lighting is powered by two Neewer 6600D lithium batteries with a USB charger. I have two super clamps attached. I have one 6-inch extension rod with the impact spigot. That's a mouthful. I'm using the quick release system on this setup. I have one phone clamp. I have two magic arms with clamps attached to the setup as well. Now my camera setup is I can shoot on this setup with either my iPhone 15 Pro Max, but for this setup I'm using the DJI Pocket 3 camera. I am connected to the DJI app, which allows me to use my iPhone as my monitor for this setup, which makes this super convenient. If you have a small space or a small studio like myself, then this is going to be very, very useful for you. What I like about the stand is that it is super beefy from top to bottom. The bottom has this extra weighted system on it, and so it allows for you not to have to use sandbags in your setup. If you aren't going with a heavy top loading system and you're using something light like I am, then the bottom is no need for it to be weighted down with sandbags. It has this weighted system already built into it. And that is really the difference between the impact stand that a lot of YouTubers are using compared to the Neewer stand that I also see a lot of YouTubers using. And so in my opinion, I think this is the better stand, and for the money that it costs, it really is very, very practical. So what are the takeaways for this setup? One, it cuts down on my setup time tremendously. I'm basically just pulling this unit straight up to my face and I'm turning on my microphone, and then I am pressing record. That's about 30 seconds at best to get set up, which previously when I was setting up my system, I had to set up my light stand, I had to set up the microphone, I had to set up the tripod, I had to set up the camera. So all of those things were taking me about 30 minutes to get set up. Now I can simply sit down, get my mic set up, and then press record and get started. The other takeaway is that this is a space saver on wheels. Why it works is really kind of a no-brainer, and that is simply because this is really the ultimate minimalist setup for content creators. Filming talking head videos are now easy, simple, and very streamlined. And this setup is super simple to put together. It can be as clean as you need it to be, and it looks really, really good. The last takeaway in this setup is, of course, this unit is very modular. You can add or remove different parts of the system to make this work for you. And so if I wanted to use a boom mic instead of using the wireless setup or the lavalier setup, I can simply add that to this unit and not have to worry about the functionality of it. It is still going to work the way that I need it to work. If I wanted to simply just use my iPhone 15 Pro Max, I can do that or set it up in some other way so that I can utilize that camera in another part of my video. Now, like I always say, please, please, please use what works best for you. Use what works best for your budget. Cherry pick this particular setup, look at other setups that people are using, and figure out what works best for you. That's what I did. It took me a little bit more time to actually establish this, but once I figured out everything that I needed, it just made it the perfect time for me to put up a system like this. So the last thing I'll say about this setup is that a lot of these accessories only come in black, which can make your setup look really, really dark and not so friendly if you're kind of walking around your studio at night looking for something in the dark. So I've added this yellow reflective tape to some of the accessories just to add an accent to the setup for safety issues. Well guys, I hope this video was helpful. I hope you found some value in the video. I hope that you utilize the video to build out a YouTube studio setup that works for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, peace.